wonder what happens when you mix hot lava and chicken.
She's literally the only person there. And do you not understand how humiliating this is? Meanwhile, the experience at Minecraft goes something like this.
This is insane.
Chicken joe.
Rachel Zegler is in full meltdown mode, and at this point, it's impossible to ignore. After spending over a year going to bat for Disney's live-action Snow White, she's now being forced to watch her passion project crash and burn at the box office, while a movie about pixelated blocks soars to record-breaking success. According to insiders, Rachel is now reportedly seeking therapy. The pressure, the backlash, the endless dragging on social media, it's all finally catching up to her. But instead of facing the music, Rachel's allegedly pointing fingers at everything and everyone around her, even Minecraft. Yep, you heard that right, Minecraft.
It's the most emotional experience that a person can go through to know that what they're working on is something that has reached a generation of people.
Rachel is now supposedly suggesting that the blockbuster success of the Minecraft movie is a major reason Snow White flopped. Not the script, not the tone, not the disastrous press tour, but the fact that a silly little video game movie outperformed one of Disney's crown jewels. And the numbers? They're nothing short of brutal. Minecraft raced past the $700 million global mark in less than 20 days, tripling what Snow White managed to scrape together in 3 whole months. Think about that.
Prepares, so I have literally been exclusive to Minecraft for the last month and a half.
Right.
All Minecraft all the time. I'm in a little movie called Minecraft.
One of Disney's most legendary IPs, reduced to playing second fiddle to blocky zombies and pixelated cows. But this isn't just a typical box office flop.
You know the saying, go woke, get broke, and Disney's going to lose money on this movie. And I believe it only made less than $1 million in China.
It's a full-scale breakdown unfolding in real time. And sadly, it's not the first. An old clip has resurfaced, dating back to when Disney first announced the Snow White remake. In it, Rachel appears visibly rattled, on the verge of tears, as she tries to explain how overwhelming the early backlash was, even before cameras started rolling. Back then, people sympathized. It looked like she was under attack for no reason. But now, after months of disastrous interviews, endless bad press, and a steady stream of tone-deaf soundbites, even her most loyal fans are starting to rethink things. Everyone expected some controversy. What nobody expected was for Rachel to deflect this hard. She's blamed internet trolls.
And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
She's hinted that the filming environment was toxic. She's even thrown subtle shade at her co-stars. Yet nowhere in her statements has she taken full ownership of the movie's tone, the chaotic press rollout, or the way she dismissed the beloved original Snow White. And now, Disney's smashing the panic button. Reports say the company is putting its live-action remake machine on pause. Projects like Tangled, which were deep in early development, are now being re-evaluated. Translation? There's a good chance they're getting canned altogether.
No one on the right side of America can stand the star of this movie.
But you don't seemingly like your own character, so she comes off as an insufferable, whiny brat.
This isn't just about one actress anymore. It's about an entire strategy unraveling. And while Rachel was busy spinning narratives and playing the blame game, someone else was sitting quietly on the sidelines waiting for the perfect moment. Enter Jack Black. And in less than 30 seconds, without even naming names, Jack delivered one of the most polite, most devastating reality checks of the year. Jack Black is a Hollywood veteran. He knows exactly how to navigate a PR minefield. So when reporters asked him about his role in the Minecraft movie, the same movie that obliterated Snow White at the box office, he didn't throw shade. He didn't gloat, he didn't even flinch. Instead, he smiled. And in an interview with IGN, Jack simply said, "I don't want to brag, but it's a big deal for me to receive this movie." That one sentence said everything. He was proud, grateful, focused on the pure fun of the project. It was exactly the vibe fans were craving. No politics, no lectures, no superiority complex. Just a star genuinely thrilled to be part of something cool. And fans immediately noticed the difference.
Rachel is literally the star of a Disney movie, and she acts like she's some sort of victim, and that's the sort of mentality that is just poisoning people's minds.
When Rachel was asked about Snow White, she trashed the original. She mocked the prince, calling him a stalker. She made fun of the classic fairy tales themes. Jack Black? He leaned all the way into the nostalgia. He spoke with gratitude and excitement. Rachel Zegler? She treated her role like an obligation, and her interviews like lectures. And then came the viral moment that set the internet on fire.
Weird.
A Minecraft parody skit showing Jack Black roasting a chicken over lava, but this time, fans edited Rachel's face onto the chicken. The symbolism? Brutal, undeniable, and a perfect snapshot of how far the tide has turned. It started with a short, brutal meme, and it exploded online because it just felt right.
I truly do believe that. There's something wrong with her. She's disturbed, she's unhappy, and she thinks it's about feminism and the patriarchy and about abortion, but the reality is she's just not stable.
Without uttering a single word, Jack Black had suddenly become the accidental symbol of what audiences are desperately craving. Good vibes, memorable characters, and absolutely no lectures. And it didn't stop there. And that's exactly where the sting cuts deepest. Rachel and Disney tried to update Snow White by stripping it of its fairy tale magic, replacing charm with heavy-handed messages. Meanwhile, Minecraft skipped all of that. It just told a simple, joyful story and let gamers and their families show up for it. Then came South Park, roasting Disney yet again with that now legendary Kathleen Kennedy scene.
Please, Kathleen Kennedy, stop ruining everything! But Kathleen Kennedy is all like, put another gay diverse woman in it, make it more f***ing lame! And the Disney stock just keeps going down and down and down! And then Bob Iger is all like, no, it's going up with my stocks! No, Kathleen Kennedy! Ah!
And Jack, whether by design or happy accident, he positioned himself as the ultimate anti-woke antidote without ever needing to say it out loud. But while Jack Black was quietly winning hearts, Rachel Zegler was tumbling headfirst into damage control mode. Co-stars began speaking up, old interviews resurfaced like ghosts from the past, and for the first time, even Rachel herself started to admit that maybe, just maybe, she had gotten some things wrong. After weeks of silence, subtle finger-pointing, and viral interviews that sent her public image spiraling, Rachel Zegler finally seems to be accepting some responsibility.
I say, if I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
But now the real question is, has she waited too long? Because behind closed doors, the ripple effects are still growing. Snow White hasn't recovered, Disney hasn't said a word, and even Rachel's own co-stars are starting to reshape the narrative. Gal Gadot, who plays the evil queen, recently spoke about her experience on set. She didn't throw Rachel under the bus directly, but she didn't defend her either. Gal admitted the production lacked companionship and vaguely promised to share more when she feels comfortable. Translation? It was bad. And these kinds of comments matter. They build, because one of the biggest criticisms surrounding Rachel Zegler wasn't just what she said, it was how she said it. The tone, the arrogance, the way she brushed off lifelong fans who loved the original story. It wasn't just disagreement, it was treating anyone who disagreed as the problem. Now her old controversies are bubbling up again, like that time she hurled insults at Trump supporters on social media.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business. Thanks.
The backlash was swift, and though she apologized, not everyone bought it. Conservative commentator Megyn Kelly even blasted her apology as fake and performative. Moments like these feed into a larger perception, that Rachel's image has always felt more manufactured than real. Then came an emotional twist no one saw coming. Rachel shared a heartbreaking post, revealing her dog was suffering from a mysterious illness. She asked fans for support during what she called one of the most difficult moments of her life. The post was raw, vulnerable. It wasn't a PR stunt. It felt human. And for a fleeting moment, the hate train slowed down. Even her harshest critics paused, seeing, perhaps for the first time, the real Rachel behind all the press tours and scripted interviews. Some fans began wondering maybe she wasn't the villain after all. Maybe she was simply unprepared for how brutal Hollywood can be when things start to collapse. But sympathy has its limits, because as Rachel fights to regain her footing, Hollywood is already moving on. Reports suggest her upcoming projects are being reconsidered. Casting directors are hesitating. Studios are growing cautious, afraid of reigniting controversy. Snow White still hasn't even cracked $100 million at the US box office. And for Disney, that's not just a failure, that's a bright red warning sign for every future reboot they had in the pipeline. And just when things seemed to be dying down, another voice entered the chat, threatening to take this whole situation to an entirely new level. At its core, this wasn't just a showdown between Snow White and Minecraft at the box office. It became something much bigger. It became a mirror. One movie leaned into fun, nostalgia, and genuine sincerity. The other leaned into messaging, contradictions, and interviews that sparked more arguments than excitement. And when the numbers came in, audiences had already cast their votes loud and clear. Now, Rachel Zegler's name is forever attached to one of Disney's biggest recent disasters. But here's the thing, she's not the first actor caught in a studio's identity crisis. And she definitely won't be the last. As for Disney, right now they're staying eerily quiet, canceling reboots behind closed doors, letting box office failures slip quietly into the shadows without comment. But you can bet whatever move they make next, it'll be safer, less political, and way more calculated. Because Disney knows one more high-profile flop like this, and it could be game over. What do you think? Was Rachel unfairly targeted? Did Disney set her up to fail? Or is this exactly what happens when classic stories get gutted and rebuilt for PR points? Drop your thoughts in the comments, we read every single one. And if you thought this story was wild, wait till you see what we've got coming next. See you in the next one.